Hey everybody, this is Dave coming to you from the Gaming Cave. Today we're going to do an open the box of Panzer North Africa. Game design by James M. Day and Fernando Sola Ramos. Alright, from GMT Games. It's the game of small unit actions and combined arms operations in the North African desert from mid-1940 to late 1942. I really like this period of the war. I've always found it very interesting. Here on the back, let's see. Oh yeah, it glares pretty bad. I'll try it down here. I'll be getting the shrink wrap off here in a minute. But Panzer North Africa is a modular game system for 2 or more players designed for combined arms small unit actions set in World War II. It is comprehensive yet remains quick to play. It has one of the most detailed weapon and armor modeling systems as presented in its full-color data cards and charts. The streamlined counter-based command system steps play along at a brisk pace, moving players quickly into the action. Included in the game are the German Panzer IIIs, 4s, Italian M1340, Semovante, British Crusaders, Matilda, Grant, Sherman, and many other units including infantry and aircraft. It's all here, and in here it says solitaire rules, which drew me to this game because I understand that these solitaire rules will also work for the other Panzer games that this comes from. All right, there are 32 historical scenarios, including 5 solitaire and a 4-scenario campaign game showcase the game's various systems and cover the range of action in North Africa between German, Italian, and British troops. All right, so complexity is a 6, so there is some complexity to it, and solitaire suitability is a 9 because of that game design. All right, so we're going to flip this over. This is a hefty box. I'm guessing it's at least 3 inches, maybe 4 inches thick. So it is a big box. And so we'll get shrink wrap off, see what we got. All right, here we go. Let's slide the box top off. Put that over there. First thing we have are the Geomorphic Maps. So we'll come back to those at the end. I like to do the maps at the end. Here we have a TO&E manual. TO&E is it's a military term. It stands for Table of Organization and Equipment. So it tells you the makeup of different units, tank battalions, British, German, what they consist of. So company headquarters, what's in the platoons, heavy machine gun platoon, anti-tank platoon, and all those things. Okay, so this is kind of cool. Give you an idea what you're working with. Here we have the optional rules. In the optional rules, you have of course, more advanced. You have your morale. You're going to have the morale checks, broken units, hidden units, tank fright. You got without radio sets, so limited spotting, quite a bit. Smoke dischargers. So there's a lot of different rules, and from what I've read before I got the game is these truly are optional rules. You don't have to play the game with them, but if you want to use them, then you can use the ones you want. Then we have playbook. All right, so in the playbook, again, the TO&Es, the military formations, kind of breaks that down. Scenarios. So it's kind of goes through those. Determining victory margin. These are examples of how to read the cards. And solitaire rules. That's what I'm really going to be interested in. After I kind of get a feel for the system, then we're going to get into these solitaire rules. Because when I play, I intend to play the solitaire version. Okay, we have, gonna go to this one before I get these other two out. Excuse me. Basic and advanced rules. So we start with the basic rules, then we get into the advanced rules, and then we can add optional rules. Okay, now this book right here is 67 pages, but everything I've read and seen, you do not have to read 67 pages of rules, mind-numbing rules, to get to play the game. There's some introductory stuff at the beginning. Talks about the rule book, the geomorphic map boards, the game cards, descriptions of counters, all those things you find in every rule book that you get into. A sequence of play. So we start with that, and then you start to get into spotting, vehicle size, terrain features, all that good stuff. Grove hexes. So a lot of this is where you're starting to get into the game a little bit. How you do things in here, movements, adjustment phase. So, and then we get into the introduction to the advanced game. So you're only talking about 21 pages, and some of those were ate up with counters and stuff like that. Most likely it's probably about 17 pages or less. Okay, after you've mastered the basic game, then we get into the advanced game. Okay, so now we start with those procedures and rules, and we work our way through the advanced rules. And there's several of those. We're not different, right? I mean, this is what you got to rule, read, kind of work through and play some advanced scenarios just to get a feel for the game, aircraft, all those things. So that adds a little more realism to it. Okay, we have scenario book number 1. All right. So as you can see, Scenario 47, the Frontier Wire, raid on Sidi Omar, Libyan Egyptian border, 12 June 1940. Tells you what maps, what orientation they go, who's starting where. All right, and then it gives you the TO&Es a little bit, the setup. All right, so there's going to be a ton of these. So I'm assuming, because this starts with like scenario 47, that this is in line with earlier Panzer games that probably have other ones. Then we have scenario book number 2, which starts with scenario 62. Okay, 1941 we're at. And all of these, again, you have all your layouts, what you're playing there, and everything. Okay, and a North Africa, Panzer North Africa formation summary sheet on the back that we can make a copy of. All right, here we have overlay sheet. So these punch out. These overlays go onto the map boards and change the terrain on the map board or enhance the terrain. So that's how they use the map boards. And then you add these terrain to it. And the terrains have a number on them. So this is the, I believe I read this right, this is the hex that it goes into. And then the arrow tells you what direction that this points to. Okay, which is probably in the scenario. Here's overlay sheet number 2. So again, bigger ones. So we have buildings, roads with buildings. So a lot there. Here we have sheet number 3. This one has, looks like string beds in them. Okay. Overlay sheet number 4. So again, more. This has hills. Here we are with sheet number 5, still has some hills. This is some kind of rock formations in there, so it may block terrain. I'm not sure yet. Let's see, number 6, some more pretty big, and they have hills again, and some brush here. All right. Now we get to our counter sheets. All right. So this is counter sheet 1 of 8. Now these counters are bigger than normal. I would say probably at least a 5/8 counter, if not bigger than that. I didn't look on the box to see what it was going to tell me, but you can see the Italian counters, and then we get into some of the German leaders probably. Then we have British tanks and vehicles, and then of course some British leaders. Counter sheet number 3, these are the German. So here's a Panzer 4E right here, Panzer 4Ds. Okay, they are two-sided, so you have this side and this side, and I believe that they're different vehicles on each side. So it's not a reduced side, that's how they get more vehicles on the same number of counters. Okay, let's see, sheet number 4, some more German. And we get into more British vehicles. And again, so we had vehicles on that side. Here we have anti-tank guns down here. All right, sheet number 5. Now we're getting into the infantry. So you can see here's some of the infantry, some of the heavy machine gun teams, mortar teams down here. I'm assuming these are like a maybe marks. I'm not sure what they mark. Control. We'll have to find out, I guess. This was the Italian. Here's your British and some German. Okay. Now for these guys, they are full squads, and then they go to half squads. Okay. Sheet number 6. Excuse me. Sheet number 6. So we have dust. We have, these are starting to be our general counters that we'll use during the game. And again, two-sided with different things on the other side. And counter sheet number 7. Okay, fire markers, move markers, overwatch. Here we have fire, move, and a short halt counters. I'm assuming that stands for no change, but may be different. I just don't know it. Move and fire here. Okay, and again, command and suppress and break. All right, one more, I believe. That is, yep, sheet number 8. These are all tank turrets. And some more just information markers, victory point counters. Looks like minefields and rubble. And of course, two-sided. All right, now we have vehicle, excuse me. Here we have vehicle data card key. So these sheets tell us how to read the cards. Okay, and they'll give us all the directions. So we got a nice information sheet and a leg data card key. So I'm assuming that's for your infantry, the leg troops. And we have a towed data card key. So if you're towing, have a towed counter image. And then Panzer North Africa turn track, transport and summary track, and hidden unit track. Okay. Aircraft data card key. So again, how to read your aircraft and your artillery. And another turn track. Okay, so there's 2 of them. Here we have a, looks like 11 by 17. So this is AP hits, AP hit modifiers, AP hit locations, number of hits, penetration, GP combat results, hand-to-hand modifiers, close assault modifiers, GP fire modifiers, indirect fire, for response, bailout, unit grade modifiers. And on this side, terrain effects, spotting ranges, so ton of information here, which is good because when you're playing the game, I'd much rather be looking on one of these cards once I remember where everything's at than to be having to go back and forth to the rule book. And it looks like they gave us 2 of those, so if you are playing a multiplayer game, each person can have their copy of it. Right, now we have a 4 dice, 2 white, 1 blue, 1 black. We have our good old bag of baggies. And then we have lots and lots of these data cards. You can see there's a ton of them. They are on some thick cardstock box, almost cardboard. They're thick, they're not going to bend easy, and they're two-sided. So for instance, in this case, on this side, it's card number G15B. It's a PSW 22, armored. Okay, and it tells you what its gunnery range and damage and all that stuff is, and defensive information. And then on this side, it's a G15 PSW 221 and PSW 221. Okay, so it's 2 on this side. That's pretty cool. In this stack here, we have a B1A. It's a Mark 6B. It's a British. And again, it gives us all that information. And on the other side, it's that was B1A. This is B1B, Mark 6B AA. So it's an anti-aircraft gun. Okay. And once again, gunnery range and defensive information. Well, there is a lot going on. Here's an example of a B-17A OQF 2-pounder anti-tank gun, British. Tells you again, you get all your information here, and then your offensive information and defensive information. And on this side, you have a 6-pounder anti-tank gun. So this was a 2-pounder. You can see it's small. And then we have a 6-pounder. You can see it's quite a bit bigger. All right, so there is 3 stacks of these things that are like this thick. So 2, 3, 5, 7, 10, 12, 11, 12, 13, looks like about 16 maybe, times 3, so there's 48 double-sided, so that's 96 different of these cards. That's awesome. All right, let's take a look at these geomorphic maps, and we'll see how big they're going to be. Probably bigger than my camera shot's going to allow me. Slide this over a little bit. Okay, so you have a map, and on the map it has a number. So this is map 29, and it has a arrow compass on it. So direction 1 is this direction. So you have this map. It's got a, I would say, probably an unimproved road. And then on this side, you have map 35. And you can see it has no road on it, but it has the hills. But it does have the rocky outcropping. Okay. Here we have map number 30. It has the roads on it and the outcropping of rocks and such on it. And on the other side is map number 36. This one has water on it, so kind of like an oasis. Or Oscar 36, it could be a small village right there. All right, and this looks like one of those riverbeds. I'm sure they have a name for it. I just haven't read about it yet. All right, let's see. That's 2 of them. Here comes number 3. I think there's 6 altogether, which makes 12 maps. number 31. And again, we've got the unimproved roads. And then on this side, 37. And here, that's an airfield. You can see from the airstrip there. Okay, and the way these work is, as a geomorphic map. Let's see if I can demonstrate this without my plexiglass. But you would have this map and this map. And if you notice, this road will connect here, but this road doesn't, it ends. So that's just the way they work sometimes. Some roads will connect, some won't, but not all of them will. And if they make us go end to end, which they could, that road connects. Let's bring it over here. That road would connect right there. Oops, there you go. So that's how the geomorphic maps work. All right, that one heading airfield. Okay, here comes, this is what I called map 32. You can see it's got the gray road. That's what I called like a highway or an improved road. And then here's your dirt road down here coming off of it. That's why I called that unimproved. It may have a different notation on it. And then on this side, quite a bit of hill and another small village there on map 38. Awesome. Okay, next one is number 33. And again, pretty open desert terrain. And then we have this one road over on this end. And for map 39, we have again the improved roads with the unimproved dirt roads. Okay. And is that the last one? Yep, we got the last one. Map 34. And again, pretty open terrain with the dirt road. And then map number 40 has a lot of dirt roads, but here it has a bridge and it crosses that string bed and then some more roads. All right. Okay. That's what's in the box. I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of reading to do. I got to do some tests. And of course I got to clip my counters because I've learned to do that and now I can't quit doing it. So it's okay. I like them clipped. They look better. All right. So this was Open the Box of Panzer North Africa. Looking forward to getting this on the table and giving it a go. Hope you enjoyed the Open the Box and you're looking forward to the playthrough. We'll get to it as quick as we can, but like I said, I got to have a little time to digest all this and see how it goes. But if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And as always, leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up for that video, like it, and we'll see you guys for the playthroughs. Have a good one, everybody.